Everyone is protein obsessed right now, but if you want meals that actually fill you up and help your long term overall health, then you want to think about fiber too. And I'm so glad to finally see that fiber is getting its time in the sun. And a lot of people are talking about fiber right now, so that's really exciting. I'm Alex, I'm a registered dietitian. I have been for over 15 years, and I'm a mom of two, and I'm really passionate about building meals with both protein and fiber because I understand all of the health benefits that come along with prioritizing both of these nutrients, not just protein. Protein is actually the most filling macronutrient. So you got protein, carbs, and fat, and protein is the one that keeps you fullest for the longest period of time. It slows down the digestion of your food. So again, it's going to keep you fuller for longer. There's also many studies that show if you have a meal with a good amount of protein, you're going to feel more satisfied. So when you're more satisfied, you're less likely to, grab a mindless bag of chips or something like that in between meals. So it can help with weight management. Not only that, but when you're in a calorie deficit, eating enough protein helps preserve lean muscle mass, which helps, long-term metabolism. Let's talk about protein needs really quick. The very minimum that you need is 0.8 grams per kilogram of body weight. So that's the very minimum you need to preserve that lean muscle mass. Most experts agree that anywhere from like 1.2 to 1.7 grams per kilogram is more ideal for healthy active adults. So if you're 150 pounds, you would divide your weight by 2.2. That gets your weight in kilograms. Your low end, 1.2 grams per kilogram, is 82 grams per day. The higher end is going to be 116 grams of protein. Social media sometimes likes to say like 1 gram per pound of body weight, and the context is missing. That is for lean muscle mass or lean body weight. So if you're 150 pounds, you don't necessarily need to eat 150 grams of protein. Hope that feels a little bit more realistic. What is considered high protein is very subjective, right? What I consider high protein might be different from somebody else. It's just a marketing term that people like to use. From a dietitian standpoint, I like to say meals should be at least 20 grams of protein. So let's just say high protein is anywhere from 20 to 30 grams of protein. Most research also shows that if you distribute your protein evenly throughout the day, that can help with increasing just overall protein intake in general. If you're somebody who skips meals or doesn't eat breakfast, it's going to be harder for you to reach a higher protein intake and try to fit it into lunch and dinner. So if you're not hungry, like in the morning, you could do like a high protein, high fiber smoothie to kind of help make sure that you're going to meet your protein and fiber needs. Okay, moving on to fiber. Fiber usually doesn't get the hype that protein gets, but it's just as important for weight management and more so for overall long-term health. Benefits of fiber are vast, and there's so much research regarding what it can do for us, for our gut health, for our digestive health, for blood sugar control, for fullness, weight management. So just like protein, fiber also helps slow down the digestion of our food, which helps with blood sugar control and helps keep us fuller for longer. So when you have protein and fiber together, those are the key to having well-balanced meals. Fiber has the potential to lower your cholesterol, improve your gut microbiome, which is linked to immune support, to your mental health, to so many different things, not just digestive health. Most Americans fall very short to meeting their fiber intakes. For women, it's minimum like 25, 30 grams of fiber per day. For men, it's about 38 grams. Two types of fiber, soluble and insoluble. Unfortunately, it's a little bit more complicated than that. So there's more types of fiber under each umbrella, all very important and all do somewhat different things. So they all have varying benefits. So the whole like eat the rainbow thing, that's so you get a variety of different types of fiber and nutrients in your diet, and to get a variety of different foods and not just get all of your fiber from these low carb tortillas. Now that's fine, to help contribute to a higher fiber intake, but I just want you to know that the fiber in these tortillas are a fermentable, like usually like inulin fiber, and that's great to like feed the good bacteria in your gut. But you're not going to get all of the other benefits of fiber as much. It's important to increase your fiber intake gradually, because if you do it too fast, you will get bloating and constipation and gas. And I just want to mention that if you are experiencing those symptoms and you are introducing fiber slowly, that means that your gut's adjusting to it, and it will adjust. You have to be consistent with it, and you have to gradually increase over a matter of a few weeks or a couple months. That adjustment period might kind of suck a little bit, but it does mean that you're getting used to it. So hang in there. Building easy meals with protein and fiber. You're going to have a protein source, and then you're going to think about all the little additions you can add to your meal that also have protein in it. So for example, chicken. Chicken, we all know, has protein in it, okay? But what about adding Greek yogurt instead of sour cream, and cheese and nuts and seeds? Those all have protein too. So that can actually add up very quickly, and you can have a higher protein meal without adding in 6 ounces of chicken instead of the recommended 4 ounces. Or beans and lentils. That's another great option that adds in a lot of fiber and protein, and we'll get into that. The recommendation is to have at least 2 servings of fruits or vegetables. That's just going to make it really easy to get that variety of fiber. And you might say, okay, but produce is really expensive right now. You can do frozen, you can do canned, whatever it is to help you get your at least 2 servings of fruits or vegetables is really going to help you out. So now we're going to go through my kitchen and see what I have that help me make protein and fiber meals really easily. It's a really informal way of seeing some of the pantry staples that help me out. Okay. I have a bag of nutritional yeast, flaxseed, my chia seeds. And these are perfect to just sprinkle on breakfast foods, soup, salad. This you can, it's like Parmesan cheese. You can put it on anything that you would put Parmesan cheese on. And it's just an easy way to add some extra protein and fiber. You can add an avocado to so many things. And it is one of the highest fiber vegetables. So always think about that. Fridge. All right. Always have yogurt, Greek yogurt. Cheese sticks are really awesome high protein snacks. Chickpeas left over from the can. Some vegetables for fiber. Freezer wise, I always keep edamame in my freezer. It's just an easy food to just add, again, protein and fiber into your meals, Asian meals or salads. Fruit to make smoothies. Foods that have protein added to them make sense sometimes. So you can add them in if you really struggle to get your protein. Think about what can I add to this to increase the fiber content. So say you want to have something easy like these protein pancakes. You want to think what can I add to this to increase the fiber content, since there's a lot of protein in these. First of all, you could add Greek yogurt with maple syrup on the side to increase the protein. Pair it with 2 different types of fruit. Okay, we're heading into the pantry. Don't judge me. I always keep a variety of nuts because you can always easily just add nuts to meals. Quinoa has double the fiber as rice, and then rice actually is healthier if you cook and cool it and put it in your freezer. So that's a trick that I usually do with my rice. Lots of different beans, a bag of lentils, good old trusty Barilla Protein Plus noodles that actually has 10 grams of protein and 5 grams of fiber per serving. So that always comes in handy. Oats. Okay, those are basically the big ones, the big staples. So let's build a meal together. So protein staples, you got Greek yogurt, beans and lentils, protein powder, eggs, chicken, cottage cheese, nutritional yeast. Fiber staples, oats, beans and lentils, whole grains, ancient grains like quinoa, chia, and flax seeds, lots of fruits and vegetables, canned, frozen, however you want to get them in. If you take just those staples and you mix and match them, you can create a pretty healthy, well-balanced meal. Overnight oats with chia seeds, protein powder, and yogurt all in one. Add some fruit, super high protein and fiber meal. Smoothies, obviously, another way you can add berries, vegetables, protein powder, milk for extra protein, yogurt, so many different ways to create a high protein and fiber meal. Think about what you can add to oatmeal. You could do a savory oatmeal. You could add chickpeas and avocado and cottage cheese, and there you go. You got a whole grain meal. You could drizzle some dressing on it, some Italian dressing, and then you have a Mediterranean high protein and fiber oatmeal. Your eggs healthier, add some black beans into your scramble. Put it in a high fiber tortilla, pair it with some vegetables, avocado or something like that, and do a Mexican inspired burrito. For lunch and dinner, I always go to the protein bowl. Protein, beans, lots of vegetables, and then, high fiber grain. And there you go, easy peasy, high protein and fiber meal. Mexican always works if you want to hit protein and fiber too. Salads also prioritize a lot of vegetables, and you can just add in a ton of different things that to increase the protein and the fiber content. Pasta using the Barilla Protein Plus noodles, and then adding in some vegetables, your protein source, just an easy way to make a high protein, high fiber meal. Okay, So that is just a start. And if you want more resources, my website, moderatelymessyrd.com, which is at the link in my bio, has tons of resources. You can go to the category increasing fiber for more options. I have a whole soluble fiber section that goes into it a little bit more and the best foods that are high in soluble fiber. And almost all of my recipes are, again, made with protein and fiber in mind. So check it out if you want more meal ideas, and hopefully I'll get better at this and keep making videos. Thanks for watching.